As the war in Ukraine rages on, the delivery of Western weapons becomes crucial for Ukraine. An announcement by the UK saying it is preparing to send depleted uranium to Ukraine has prompted Russia to hit back. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said Russia will be forced to react if UK sends shells made with depleted uranium. He also accused the West of deploying weapons with a nuclear component. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said if UK sends the particular ammunition, it will break an international law. However, UK insists the armor-piercing rounds alongside Challenger 2 tanks carry a low risk of radiation, adding that British forces have used uranium-depleted ammunition for decades. The UK said the depleted uranium is a standard component and has nothing to do with nuclear weapons. UK Defence Ministry also accused Russia of spreading disinformation. Now, to give you a little bit of a background to this, depleted uranium is a mild radioactive substance in a solid form. Scientifically, it is a residue after natural uranium has been enriched, either from weapons making or a reactor fuel. On the other hand, however, shells with depleted uranium were used in Iraq and the Balkans. The 2022 UN Environment Programme report says depleted uranium is an environmental concern in Ukraine. For more on this, we're joined by Greg Swenson, who's an international affairs expert. Welcome to the broadcast, sir.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Greg, Vladimir Putin has threatened with an unspecified retaliation of sorts. But the fact that he said this with the Chinese president sitting right next to him, does this send a larger message?
Yes, I think you're right, Siobhan. This is just a sideshow. This reference to, allegedly using nuclear-powered weapons. As you pointed out in your introduction, these weapons have been used for decades, and they are not nuclear weapons, obviously. And so I'd have to agree with the UK Defence Ministry on that. So I think it's just a distraction that the Russians are using to make that constant threat, or at least have the implied threat of responding with nuclear weapons of their own. But that's just a threat they've been keeping in their pocket for the last year. And I wouldn't take it too seriously because I just don't think they're for any reason that they would be prone to escalate into the use of tactical nuclear weapons. I think it would be self-defeating for the Russians. But you bring up a good point. This is the bigger picture is what we should be worried about. The meeting between Putin and Xi, strengthening their economic ties. You saw Xi's comment, the friendship without limits. You saw, you've seen many troublesome comments come out of that conference. And I think that's much more important here. And then you also have the U.S. speeding up deliveries of the Abrams tanks. There was talk that, these 70-ton tanks would take over a year to deliver. They're changing the strategy there to deliver vintage M1A1 tanks that are already existing in stockpiles. So that's going to increase tank deliveries. You've seen similar commitments from the Germans. So I think what I worry about is the incrementalism here. The fact that the West was very cautious with armament deliveries and weapons deliveries at the beginning when they would have been more useful. And now you see a growing incrementalism and additional weapons being delivered. So this is probably, I think that and the fact that you're seeing tightening relationship between Xi and Putin is much more worrisome than the use of depleted uranium.
Thank you for all those updates, Greg.